Hey everybody, this is your old pal Drew Dracy, longtime veteran anchor for DC, Marvel, CrossGen, IDW, Dark Horse, you name it. And it's been grand. I've written 3 novels, and I'm a gummy bear addict, and I'm working on it. Anytime I go to CVS or other places, I see gummy bears, it takes a lot of strength for me not to buy it. And if I'm having a shitty day, I have to buy it. It's comfort food. Okay. So, that's not what you're here for. You're here for the mystery cover of Iron Man 23. So, here we go. A little more. There. Okay. Now, I love the color of this cover. It's great. And I've always been a huge Iron Man fan, like almost from the beginning. First it was Spider-Man, and I still dig Spider-Man, but if I had to go in order, it would be Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man, The Thing, Daredevil, and a close follow-up is Hawkeye. So if Daredevil dies, Hawkeye will fill that gap. So, great cover. He's talking to the guys on the ship, and that's pretty common back then. Like, even though they can't hear you, it's just a comic book thing. So, he's got a nice ass with the little lights in there. The gaps. So he's ready to take on the ship, and this is so weird. The thunder of the deck gun shatters the stillness, and this really doesn't belong on the cover. Usually it'll say, "Can Iron Man take on blah blah blah?" and action in the mighty Marvel manner, stuff like that. But we will reveal the secret in a minute. There, okay. It won't be enough to save you, he says. Not nearly enough. So it's basically a continuation of the cover. Archie Goodwin's the writer, George Tuska is the artist, Joe Giazzo. You think all Italian, family I would be able to break that down. But it was a pen name for Mike Esposito. He was working at DC, and back then you had to have a pen name because the company would give you the boot if you worked for both companies. The only one that managed to pull it off was Neal Adams, because he had the balls, he had the talent. Both companies just, gushed over him, rightfully so. And he did X-Men, he did, other stuff, Green Lantern, Green Arrow. So, he kind of broke that mold, but it was still a little time afterwards. It was, these guys aren't Neal Adams, but they're damn good. George Tuska and Mike Esposito undercover. So, alright. He sinks the ship, and he's satisfied that he sort of avenged his his fiance. And it's so weird that she's a fiance because she was only around for like 10 issues, and there was never any heat between them. It was always kind of like they hung around, they talked, blah blah blah. There was like no mushy talk. There was no let's go over here. No kisses. I don't recall any kisses. So for whatever reason, that I don't know if it's Tuska, because sometimes when he tells a story, he leaves some of those elements out because he's more of an action guy. So R.I.P. Janice Cord. It's over at last. Janice. The crew smuggle the Titanium Man or in the hands of the Authority, and they go back to where Titanium Man blasts her by accident. He takes out Titanium Man, which is just a cool villain. So, he's sulking and he's upset, and it shows 10 times more emotion than he did any time he was with Janice Cord. Trust me on that. So, here is the mercenary, and he's blending into the surroundings with his garish light blue, light green, and yellow costume. And I get her. He thinks she's a badass. So Tony's frustrated. He goes, maybe spending time away will help ease the terrible sense of loss. So, I gotta stop real quick. Man, I got this book like a couple years later, and I so wanted this Marvel Mania stuff with the stickers and the posters and everything, but it basically was a fly-by-night operation, and what's his name? Mark Evanier knows a lot about it. And also the John Morrow from Two Morrows, who published the Kirby Collector. So it was a fly-by-night thing. It wasn't anything like the MMS that came out before. So he gets to drive, and he passes Agent Sitwell, who is now finally over Whitney Frost, who also was dating Tony Stark. She got around, and Jasper was a real a-hole, but Tony was too a little bit. So it takes off. Whitney Frost ends up being Madame Mask because she gets disfigured. He takes off, and there's a gun to his head. And the woman shows herself, and I need your help. You got a strange way of asking, lady. He asks for the background. My name's Cheryl Porter. Blah 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 blah. My husband was on a ship like that, and watch your lip, Jeff. Wife or not, I don't want any dame learning what we're carrying. My bird is my business, Captain, and she's no dame. Whatever they're saying. I mean, I don't get the point of that line. It's just kind of odd. I mean, it's just weird. But, so, she overhears that they're smuggling a titanium man. It's a flashback, basically. And, he wants to kill his wife, because she's a squealer, going to give him trouble. So he calls the mercenary. And he's like, he's all braggadocious. He can't harm you, but he can't find you. I got a mountain lodge. That's perfect hiding spot. And also for wild sex. No, oh, sorry. That is a great panel. That is really, really awesome. It just has so much energy to it. And, if you straighten it out, it's cool. But he really, I don't know, topped himself. He's listing in with his big old buck teeth, which is a Tuska trade-off. The joke has always been like he has tusks. He just people tusks. So, Tony and the lass, they go down the road. This guy's about to hit the plunger, and he gets knocked back. Bumbling, incompetent amateur. You have ruined anything. You might have ruined everything. Stark's cars are specially armored. Your clumsy contrivance can only serve to harm him. Quickly, now, who are you? What's your stake in this? So, exposition time, but it does make a point. Okay. There we are. He says, I'm Vincent Sandhurst. Janice Court's a lawyer. She caught me embezzling, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to go to jail. So, Mercenary's just pissed off. He's like, you're in the way. So he shoots him. He goes, least of all the encumbrance of a vengeance-mad amateur. Hey, I got the whole sentence out. Well, half of it after the ... So they're hanging out in the woods. He's checking all the doors. And that's a nice shot there. And they're talking, but the mercenary hears everything. And his big old buck teeth. So he breaks in. He's like, Tony Stark's as good as dead. Snick, snick, snick. A little bit of a silence reaction. Iron Man turns around. Iron Man, but how? Well, just fight and don't ask. So, and his character, he's actually someone Iron Man should be able to take out in no time. And instead of punching him, he throws him, and the mercenaries' the acrobatics are, he gets him back on the seat. All right, there. I love this smoke effect. This is really, really creative. The swirl effect. A lot of people would cop out and make solid images and, just leave that halo of the body around. So I love it. And Iron Man uses Unibeam to find him and pops him in the neck. In the face. So this panel was actually swiped by either Tom Sutton or somebody else in the second issue of Amazing Adventures that featured the Beast. I don't know if it's issue 12 or something. So, shush, babies. Shush. Daddy's working. Not really. There is the cover. That's the cover. Marie Severin did it. After Jack Kirby went to DC, she was the cover artist for many, many books. And for some reason, this was rejected. And I don't know why. But, that's pretty cool too. But that should be the splash page. So, I don't know who inked it, but it looks splendid. So he's like, I'm going to throw Kirby dots at you. Ay, 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 ay. He falls down. And Iron Man gets up, punches him, throws him around. But this guy has like electronic so-and-so thing that's going to freeze Iron Man's armor. And he throws in a karate chop. Now, Iron Man's head-to-toe armor, his neck doesn't feel things. So, while he's down, he changes to Tony Stark. And, Bobby must be home. So, la la la. Well, he goes down to surprise her because she was supposed to open anything. And that was the door. Oh, yeah. Oh, boo. Hey, sorry about that. So, I'm doing an episode. I'm just doing a little episode. And I'll keep the talking in. Because I'm just that kind of person. So, she sees on the monitor that it's Tony. Everything's safe. She sees Tony Stark. And he's about to kill her. So Iron Man's all, he's not feeling great. So, la 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 la. Oh, come on, man. This paper. Actually, what I should do, okay, take that off. I love that latex sort of thing going on. And, ads for everything. Everything you could possibly want. There. So, he plugs himself into a basic outlet, which is funny because certain outlets have more power than no. Like for a computer, that you need a much more powerful outlet. Pops it off, goes down, pow, 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 pow. So, turns out, the schlub. Calm down, babies. You kookamongas. Okay, sit down. So this other guy, Basil Sandhurst, said the mercenary is so contemptuous he didn't even make certain I was dead. But I've succeeded where he failed. I've killed Tony Stark. Well, he didn't. He killed the mercenary disguised as Tony Stark. And he asked by Cheryl, has a little unibeam, finds her, and they walk home in a nice little silhouette. So, that's it. Hope you liked it, and that's about it. I had fun, and I hope you did too. Hope you didn't mind the interruption from the crazed puppies. Uh-oh, there goes one now. Uh-oh. I better go. All right, see you next time. Bye.